Hi everybody.
Hi.
We've got a kiln to open today and I want to share a couple things with you. A previous video I showed you a mug that was almost collapsed and I kept it because I just loved the organic shape. It's going to be in here. Another thing is I have another kiln right here that I picked up on Facebook for $50, and today I ran it for the first time after I've pulled it apart, kind of checked the wiring, put a new cord on it and done some stuff, and it ran like a charm. So I'm excited to open it tomorrow. I've got some big stuff in it and there'll be another video attached to this. So here we go, me and my helper. We've got a lot of stuff in here. Oh my goodness, let's see. Here is a nice lidded jar. Look at that. This is your classic iron luster with oatmeal in bands. Isn't that a beauty? Thank you. This is another one, another lidded jar. These are stoneware clay. This is wasabi. Wasabi all over, 3 coats. And then if you see these darker bands in here, these are bands of seaweed. And on the top, the way it broke, you get these dark colors. Here is the wonky cup that I refused to put back in the bag. We've got some dents, she almost collapsed. Isn't that gorgeous? That's a speckled clay that is honey flux times 3, and at the top around the rim is Coyote's pink sunset. Sunset pink. A sunset pink. Here is a straight Amico honeydew bowl. See how it breaks on texture. Put some nice texturing in there. Little detail. We've got a fluted rim. Pretty, pretty, pretty. One of my Arkansas mugs. This is a classic textured turquoise times 3, covered in blue rutile with seaweed on the rim, inside and out. See, we've got a little bit more green tones here where we covered that with the seaweed, but we get that textured turquoise, really comes through lighter. Pretty. Here's another Arkansas mug. This is straight Coyote sunset pink. And it really, I guess they call it sunset pink. It's a little bit mauve-y, but it really has tints of yellow and orange in it at some points when it breaks. It's a real pretty glaze. That's another combo. And one thing I see, I want to tell you about with the wasabi. This is wasabi with seaweed over it. And if you look, you can see there's a pink lace right there. It will go to blue, but sometimes where the two meet, you get this really unique pink lace in there that's just gorgeous. Wasabi covered in seaweed. And the old standard Coyote, really red, and it is really red on an Arkansas mug. See if we can get down to the bottom. Whew. Oh my, did not realize we had this much in here. This is Red Orange by Coyote and Snow from Amico. Just some nice speckled mug. This is pretty neat. This is Bluestone. This is Amico's Bluestone, which is a real matte glaze. I did that inside and out, but at the top, I covered it with oatmeal, and oatmeal will turn this into a gloss and deepen that blue, and it has a really nice accent. That is a gorgeous mug. I could make a set of those, and those would sell all day long. That's just really pretty. right, here's a set of mugs right here. This is honey flux on speckled clay, and around the top we have wasabi and textured turquoise. And if you go look at my videos, there's another video out there where I did soup bowls in this combination, and I show you in detail how to apply this glaze and get this look where they blend and you get that neat combo. Go check out that other video. I think you'll really love this combo on mugs and bowls. This is a hand painted that my wife does with sunflowers. Almost looks like not dahlias but zinnias. Isn't that gorgeous? And this is on just a buff plus stoneware clay, and then she covered it in a clear from Coyote, and it crazed. And you may or may not like crazy. I for one love it. This is a beautiful crazed mug. The way that it reacted with that clay, that clear glaze. Got a little caterpillar there. That is a real beauty right there. Boy, that is just, you can drink anything out of that. Okay. Look at this baby. Some of you wonder what iron luster looks like by itself. Well, here it is. We've got this nice break in the middle. This is just my standard. I put oatmeal around the rim, but I did this whole bowl in heavy iron luster, probably 4 coats with oatmeal around the top to get that really neat break on it. That is just a beautiful bowl. We got one more shelf down here. Don't want to touch another kiln because it is hot. It just kicked off a couple hours ago. Throw that away. Oh, there we go. All right, we've got some of my little egg bowls. And if you go look at my channel, subscribe to my channel, you'll see I show you how to make these egg bowls. These are great sellers at craft fairs, at markets. You know, that's just about a 2-quart bowl, and it's great for Saturday morning mixing up eggs, pancakes, whatever you want. This is honey flux with indigo float around the top. Gave you just a nice little break, a little blue there, and it's a real pretty little bowl. This is another one of those egg bowls, but it's hand painted with underglazes that my wife did. And is this snow on it with that? This is snow with the little paintings on it. And then a clear coat on top of all of it. Boy, that's just pretty. Look at the detail. And then again, one last egg bowl here with textured turquoise on the rim. Honey flux all the way around. Gives you a nice pink break in here without anything but honey flux with this speckled clay. And then you get that blue, that turquoisey rim. But there's a lot of stuff you can do with these glazes. Like I say, there's 2 other videos. One on how to make these egg bowls. One on how to glaze those mugs. If you look at the soup bowl video I did, it'll show you in detail how to do that. And it's a real easy combo, something you can use on a lot of different pieces that you'll love. So, get my helper over here to say goodbye. Thank you very much for watching. We appreciate you guys. Please like and subscribe, and I'll film this other kiln opening tomorrow. Thanks. Bye. All right, the second kiln is cooled, and I'm serious. I picked this kiln up off of Facebook for $50. It needed a power cord. I pulled the front end off of it, cleaned up some wiring, some switches. Nothing really major. It came with shelves and everything. So these deals are still out there. You've kind of got to watch. Sometimes people have picked them up from, say, their parents or something like that used them at one time, and they're just trying to get rid of them and filter stuff out. I've got 3 of these. I paid $50 for this one. This one was given to me, and I have put a little bit of money into it, maybe $200. And the other one up here that I use for bisque, I've got, it was another $50 one that came out of Missouri. It was in a guy's barn that he bought the house. It was there. He had no idea, and he just threw it out there for $50, and I got it. And I brought it home and beat on it a while. Seriously, knocked some switches around on it, did some playing with it, did not rewire, put in elements or anything. I've been running it for 2 years, $50 in it. So some of these old manual kilns are out there. They work good. You just have to, learn a little bit about them. But this is the first time I've run this one since I purchased it and did the work on it. I did a test run with just shelves in it, and it seemed good. I ran it yesterday, and it just ran like a charm, and I want to check it out. I just put a small load in it. Here's what came out of it. Ooh, look at that. There's a nice little vase. Get a little light on that. Yeah. Cool. Another one right there, a nice big one. Some real color. This one is honey flux with iron luster, where you do the bands. I've got a video out there that shows you how to do it, but I did the bands real heavy. I hold it sideways sometimes and let it drip on it so it stays real concentrated, and put bands on it. And that's where you get these big heavy runs. That's because of the real heavy concentration when you put it on thick like that. Instead of using the brush, I actually just I hold it like this and I let it drip on it and just let it run around. So it stays very narrow in the band and it gets thick. So this one is, again, the same combination. I've added a couple things to this one. I'm not real sure what all it was. There's some honey flux, there's some textured turquoise. This one was actually, take that back. This was ancient jasper and textured turquoise on top of honey flux. And you got some little bit of different color in that, you can see. Real interesting. Nice little vase. This is iron luster covered in oatmeal. And one of my favorite glazes. I really love this dark coppery color. You get these breaks with these blues. That's just real pretty. A nice bowl. This is honeydew right in here. And then on the sides, what I did was wasabi and seaweed. And if you can see, again, I know I talk about that pink break, but you get a pink break between those two. It's a little, turned out really cool. Let it come down in here. So the seaweed helps it kind of run. We got a nice little run together there with a lighter color. Same combo on the outside. I don't usually do greens. I'm not a big green fan, but some people love it. And so on this particular bowl, I just decided to go greens. It turned out really nice. And then I have just a couple of bowls here that I did in bluestone. I like bluestone. It's nice, flat. You can really get some cool breaks in that. Isn't that pretty? And then eggshell on the inside. And that's a really nice set of bowls. I mean, you put that in your house and use it for anything you want. Cereal in the morning, pasta, whatever. A little soup in the winter. So that's it. That's the 2 kiln openings. Thanks for watching. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate your likes. Please subscribe. Y'all have a great day and good luck.